Hi, welcome to Nurse with Needles podcast. Today is Wednesday, September 12th, 2012. I am your host. My name is Talia. I'm also known as Franciscan Gypsy on Ravelry and on Plurk. And this is... I'm not going to introduce yourself.
You're not going to introduce yourself?
I'm not going to
I thought you just did that.
I'm not going to introduce you this time. You need to introduce yourself.
Everybody knows who I am.
Oh, okay. Well, then.
I'm Marlisha. I'm also Lady Furnico on Ravelry and on Plurk.
And if you are a returning member to seeing this podcast, or returning viewer, members if you're a member of the Ravelry group, if you're a returning viewer of this podcast, nice to see you again. Grab your knitting, grab your crocheting, and craft along with us. And if you are a new visitor, it is very nice to have you with us, and I hope you are grabbing something to work on as well.
Please excuse whatever bouncing you might hear upstairs. Davina is working out upstairs.
Okay, so we're going to jump right into the crafting. The first project, there we go. The first project that I have been working on since I talked to you last. Oh, and the reason this is a little late is because I worked Saturday, Sunday, and then I had a class from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Monday, so I slept all day. And this is the first time we've been able to podcast this week, so that's why it's a little late. I should have put something in the Ravelry group, but I was too lazy. Anywho.
Of course, if she had told me, I could have done it, but...
You're a moderator. You could have done it anyway.
But you're cool.
Anyway. No one stopped you. No one tied your fingers.
That's right, you were asleep. But I'm a nice mom.
Anyway, the first project that I've been working on is legless. It is the Vivian pattern by Osada Teague. I'm making it for me. Size, well, I guess it's not really size 36, it's bust size 36. If I say size 36 for a sweater, I'm talking about the bust size. US 9 Knit Picks interchangeable circulars with 32-inch cables. For this pattern, I am using Stonehenge Fiber Mills Shepherd's Wool in the blue spruce colorway. For this pattern, you need to know how to cast on, to knit, to purl, to work seed stitch, to cable 4 back, to cable 4 front, to make 1 left, to purl 2 or 3 together, to purl front and back, to pass slip stitch over, to slip slip knit, to slip 2 together, to twist 3 or 4 back, to twist 3 or 4 front, to knit 2 together, and how to work from a chart. Special tools needed for this pattern, well, besides your knitting needles, would be cable needles, removable marker, and a zipper. I don't have a zipper yet. When I'm closer to finished with the project, that's when I'll go to Zipper Stop. Not go to Zipper Stop. Send Zipper Stop a swatch of my yarn and get them to send me back a zipper that matches. So, now it's time to show it to you. It's in my Knitting Sheets bag by Knitting's My Bag. Oh, okay, there we go. So, no, I don't think that's going to help, Mom, because it's not something that's lacy. It only helps when something is lacy.
You're going to get, well, just have an opening right here, but...
Yeah, but it's not really significant.
Looks pretty well, but you can turn it a little bit because all you see is the seed stitch.
Yeah, well, you can see a seed stitch. You can see a little bit of that cable there. Yeah. It's just that the part I'm working on. There's more.
You want to pull too much on that.
Oh, it won't suffer too much from being pulled. There's another cable there. There's another cable there. As you can tell, I'm in the middle of a row. I'm at the decreases where they're decreasing steadily for the waist. So it's nice, it's fun. it seemed like I was hanging out like down here forever, and now all of a sudden it's like doubled in height. So I'm happy with it so far.
Rutherford.
Yes, there are some. I put some detailed notes on my project page about things that this pattern wasn't clear on. It wasn't very clear on how you do your decreases for the waist. And I think there are several other things I wasn't clear on. So I have detailed notes on my project page if you are interested in working this pattern. It's a fun pattern. I like the way it turns out so far, so it's well worth the effort of working past the little lack of clarity in the pattern. Okay, the other project I've been working on is Jewel Magic. That is the Damask pattern by Kitman Figueroa. I'm working on it for me. It's in the large size using US 10 and US 6 Knit Picks interchangeable circulars with a 40-inch cable. I am using for this project Lang Yarns Jowl Magic Degradé in the number 60 Reds and colorway. Just Reds and, not Reds and anything, just Reds and. For this pattern, you need to know how to cast on, and for the larger cast on 333 stitches. You need to know how to knit to purl, to work garter stitch, to yarn over, to knit 2 or 3 together, to slip knit, to slip 2, knit, pass over, to purl 2 together, to work 7 noop or nup stitches in 1 stitch, slip 1, knit, yarn over, knit, and how to read charts. So let's see, which bag is that in? That's in my nurse's bag, behind the inside bag. And this one always looks less impressive than the the cable sweater when I bring it out, because it doesn't grow quite as quickly because it's so much longer.
That's such pretty colors. You can see the colors now, the green and the yellow, especially orange, whatever that is.
It's a yellow. Well, if you take it away a second, I think it might actually show the colors a little better. See, yeah, it's actually the colors are popping up better without that white, because the white was stealing the light.
And the yellow anyway.
Yeah. So, I like the color variation. The pattern's just not going to show up very well until it's bigger. But, yeah, I haven't worked on this a whole lot this week, but I have worked on it. Okay. The next pattern that I've been working on is my Fire Cardigan. This is the Hyannis Cardigan by Kirsten Hipsky. I'm working on it for me in the size 36 using US 10.5 and US 9 Knit Picks interchangeable circulars with a 40-inch cable and a 16-inch cable. I haven't used a 16-inch cable yet. Anyway, they tell you use DPNs too, and I don't do DPNs on Magic Loop. Anyway, if you like DPNs, you'll need DPNs as well. For this pattern, I have been using Valley Yarns Huntington, which is the yarn that's called for by the pattern. The colorways are red, mustard, and harvest orange. It's 3 yarns held together and knit together. For this pattern, you need to know how to cast on, to knit, to purl, to work ribbing, to knit 2 together, to slip knit, to pick up stitches, to knit buttonholes, and that's if you are knitting the buttonholes. I picked up a zipper, and my plan is to add a zipper instead, because I've seen other people's patterns for this sweater, and I've seen that the buttons tend to pucker a little bit, and so I'd rather have a zipper. Sorry, the pattern doesn't tell you how to add buttonholes. So, again, I'd rather have a zipper. And you also need to know how to Kitchener. There is errata available for this pattern, which I was not aware of before. Okay, so let me clip this off. Oh, and mark off that I finished that row. There we go. Well, first of all, me being the genius that I am, didn't even think about the fact that it would be easier to work all 3 yarns together if they were all in the same ball. Wow, what a concept. Good thing I read someone else's pattern page. I took all the yarn that I had in like 3 separate balls and Ziploc bags and put them together in one ball, and it's been so much easier, so much more portable. Anyway. Well, you've seen over and over again the main part of the sweater. I think that's the right way. It hasn't changed. It's still the same.
Really see the ribbing at Hallway.
Yeah. You can see the ribbing there.
Yeah.
So that hasn't changed. It's stuffed back down on the bottom. Look, why did you slip down there? I guess because it's below there. And sleeve number 1 is done. Finished that yesterday. And I started up sleeve number 2.
You baby sleeve.
Yep. So that's my brainless, mindless knitting. And I would love to have it done by the time we go to retreat, but it won't be.
You're too warm anyway, I think.
Yeah, but it'll probably be what I'll work on during retreat.
Yeah.
That and the Nightwing shawl, which is the next one I'm talking about. This is the shawl that never ends, and it goes on and on, my friend. That Nightwing shawl is taking forever, which is good for a purse knitting project, but it's never gonna end. Part of the problem is I like a longer shawl, and it's not coming out very big right now, so I keep adding rows, which is why it feels like it's never gonna end.
But it doesn't block up huge on me.
If it
Like
does.
ginormously huge, like enough to cover our couch.
It's not going to block out that huge amount. This is teeny. I'll show you guys what it looks like. It's not going to block
it's
out.
It's very small.
This is a Sedna shawl by Mary Lena Lynx. I'm making it for me using US 4. I'm never making this pattern with US 4s ever again.
I'm going to use 7s.
US 4 Knit Picks interchangeable circulars with a 40-inch cable. For this pattern, I am using No Makers 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon yarn in the Nightwing colorway. And I will be using, if I ever get to the crochet edging, Spring Tree Rose 80% superwash merino, 10% nylon, 10% cashmere in not Chase Black. It's Jenny Linsky, I think it's called, colorway. For this pattern, you need to know how to knit, to purl, to yarn over, and those are the knitting stitches. For crochet, you need to know how to chain, single crochet, slip stitch, double crochet, and do a combined double crochet. And you also need to have like the patience of Joe. Yeah. It is in my Batman bag because it is appropriate that Nightwing would be in a Batman bag. And it is a Batwing shawl. Well, this is kind of
Scrunched up Batwing.
Yeah, because I'm still working it. You can see though it's not very big, and I like a large shawl.
Maybe you opened it up.
Well, I don't want to open it up. I'm working on it.
You'd have to. I guess you can't move it. Oh, I see. You have it.
You see, I'm.
It's not far enough that you can.
Yeah. So I can't do it without.
It's got a really nicely defined centerpiece.
But it's
like a spine.
Yeah. It's just not very big. Of course, I haven't made it through even an entire 400 yards.
Knit tightly.
I don't think I knit that tightly. Okay, together, this whole thing would be 400 yards. Oh no, more than 400. It's like 400.
460, wasn't it?
460, something like that.
Because Amanda usually does about 460 yards.
So I haven't even done 200 yards.
That's why it's so small, probably.
So it's gonna go on and on until I'll be making this till my grave.
We'll use it as your burial shroud.
Yeah, exactly. And this is all tingly.
It's pretty though. It doesn't look quite as camo-y now. Especially this side, the wrong side, I guess.
Yeah, that's the wrong side.
It doesn't look quite as camo-y. I actually like the wrong side better.
But the spine is prettier on the right side.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Looks kind of funky on the wrong side. Okay. So that goes back in there because it does.
It's in timeout.
Yes.
This will be Batman again.
By the time he's Batman's not going to be able to put him in. Well, he could, but he wouldn't.
But we could try.
He'll get a lot more.
Don't ever say he can't.
True.
Batman.
Yes. He can breathe in space.
Yes, because he's Batman.
The other project I've been working on is in my No Maker's bag. And it is my Oops CE, Oops Crocheted Edition. This is the Amigurumi Bunny Rabbit, Bramble Amigurumi Bunny Rabbits by Kate E. Hancock, using 3.5 millimeter, which is US E, Knit Picks Harmony Wood hook. I am using Sash yarn, yay, which is brown sheep landlocked worsted in the maple praline colorway. This is written in British crochet terms. So for this pattern, you need to know how to chain, to double crochet in British, to US single, which is US single crochet, to treble crochet in British terms, which is US double crochet, to slip stitch, which is the same. Although somewhere I heard that slip stitch is single crochet in British terms. Not sure.
Don't confuse the issue.
Yes, in this pattern, slip stitch is slip stitch. To double crochet two together, which in US terms is single crochet two together. To 5 treble cluster, which is US 5 double crochet cluster, and to magic ring. So you really need to be aware when you're working this pattern that it is written in British terms, so you aren't doing all the wrong stitches.
Otherwise you'll have your fiber quilt showing through a lot.
Yeah. Figure out the pieces and fold slow. The bunny's almost done. I'm kind of procrastinating.
Well, you're waiting for the eyes, right?
Yes, but I'm also kind of procrastinating. I don't know why I'm procrastinating. Okay, so bunny head. Bunny ears. I guess that was the bunny body I showed before. Here's the bunny head.
Interchangeable.
Yeah, not quite. The bunny body is bigger.
It's like a mushroom.
It does. I really don't see how this head is going to work out the way they say it is.
It will. Stuff it. Trust the pattern.
Yeah. Bunny paws, which for some reason have thumbs.
Bunny thumbs. The opposable thumb of bunnies.
Bunny snout.
What is that snout? Two muzzles.
Muzzle snout. Bunny eyelids. Bunny foot number 1. And here's number 2 bunny foot. I have not finished number 2 bunny foot. After I finish bunny feet, I need to do pink to define the toes. I think part of it is I haven't felt like doing the sewing required to do the toes. I think that's really been the super lazy hang up I've had with this pattern. I don't want to do my toes for my bunny, so I've been finding other things to do. And plus I am waiting for the eyes. Oops, this goes in here. And then the last thing I have to work on, I can't show because I am working on a design for a toy. I'm taking Stacy Chalk's Design Your Own Monster class, and yeah, I started working on a design last week, at the beginning of the week. So
That's really cool.
I'm not going to tell you anything more about it. You'll just have to see it when it comes out.
Stay tuned. Same bad time.
Same bad chance. Yes. So I'm done. Your turn.
Okay. I've been working on. I'm still working on. Talk about her shawl that never ends. This is the blanket that never ends.
Blankets never end.
This is the half logging.
At least you can see progress.
Yeah. This is the half log cabin ombre blanket by Pearl Soho by Nicole, and I actually have done quite a bit. I was about here on our last podcast. I didn't think I was going to show it to you because you're basically just seeing the same thing week after week. Every week I say, gee, look at this yarn. I'm almost at the end of it. Well, you know, I think it's magical. It never is empty. It just doesn't go away. So anyway.
Well, because you're knitting and not crocheting.
So this is basically, I mean, I like it, and this is what I do when I can't, you know, I know I don't have the ability to think for whatever reason. You know, we're playing Halo or watching television or whatever it is we're doing. So this is my kind of mindless project.
But it's not good for instant gratification, which crocheting is. You'll see your ball dwindle down, like, yes, I'm almost done with another ball.
Yeah, no,
and knitting, it's like,
this goes on forever and ever. And I'm actually, I'm working this with stash yarn in 9 different colors, ranging from creams to browns to some. I think I have a red involved and some greens in this. I'm using Red Heart Super Saver yarn. And I'm working on a 10.5-inch high fixed circular needles on a 32-inch cord. The only special thing about this is having to bind off and pick up stitches when you change the colors, and I haven't done that yet because it never ends. It's white forever. Cream. My next project is my Claret Shawl, and actually I'm really happy with that. This is the Recuerdos de Infancia by Gabrielle Ordonez, also known as Gabriella on Ravelry. And I'm really excited about this because I finally finished the central section of it, and I think I lost my hook again.
Good job.
There it is. Okay. I finished the central section.
I still haven't let you try my hook.
No, you haven't. And I've started the edging. It's the half double crochet edging on the sides here. So I've done the first row of that. I just have to count up the stitches before I decide to go further. So it's pretty good size already. It's a little small for what I like it, but it hasn't been blocked and I'm not finished. So I think this is going to be a really good size shawl. The picture makes it look absolutely huge. And I really like the patterns. I'm afraid it's too much here. Pull it a little bit, you can kind of get it right. I don't know if I can pull it to show you, but the pattern is very pretty.
It looks very nice. I think you can see the pattern.
Yeah, I can't see if you can see the color or not, but it's got some really nice gradation. This yarn is super soft. I love working on it. My hands like it. It's not rough on the hands at all, and it doesn't split, which is really nice, even when I rip out things to redo. So I really am enjoying this. In order to do this shawl, I have to read this all the time. To do this shawl, you have to know how to chain, to slip stitch, to half double crochet, to double crochet, treble crochet, skip stitches, crochet a picot, picot, parrot, I don't know. Crochet shell. This slide put that in this if you're listening. Crochet shell and follow pattern and follow a chart, which I have not done yet. I'm starting the tables now. I'm using a G hook and Knit Pick Stroll yarn in a gypsy tonal colorway, which I really like. It's very pretty. I didn't expect it to have such a nice gradation of color. I really enjoy it. And this bag is by, that's right. Who did this bag?
Brightcraft.
And my M&M bag, which I absolutely love. I just have to put a new cord in it. Now, my next project is buttons. And buttons is the other one that I had a lot of work done on.
Did you even start a button for
I did. He was not stuffed. He was about this big, an empty bowl type of thing. He's a Snowy Owl pillow pattern by Sonea Devlon, but I think he can also be considered a toy. And I made
I'm counting him as a toy for the toy line.
I am.
Not that you can win anything.
No, I can't. But I'm going to put him in anyway.
Well, not in
no, I'll put him in the chatter.
Yeah, the chatter thread.
I'll just put a little note saying, look at there's something in there.
Well, you can't put anything.
I can't put anything in there.
No.
Anyway, regardless.
Because I'll delete you.
Yes, you'll delete me. This is the head and the body of the owl. So you can see it's a pretty big size. I still have to do his feet. I have done, put it right here. I have done my Aran Lane bag here. Get this out here. I'm actually using two different hooks for this. I think it's a G hook and an F hook, or a G and an H hook. But these are the eyes, and I believe they go like this. Looks kind of freaky with him coming out of his eyes, but I think it goes like this. So those are the eyes, and then I'm working on the beak right now, which actually had given me a little bit of trouble because it's such a tight space to crochet in, but it goes here when it's finished, so you can kind of get an idea. And then I have to do the wings and the feet. And the wings will be in this color, and the feet will be in this green color. So I'm making a lot of progress on it. I'm really happy with it. I'm hoping to finish it before I go on retreat next week, but I don't know if I will.
You took his eyes, he's not too happy with you. Down his mouth, so all I can do is mutely jump on your shoulder.
He has his feet or wings, he can't do anything.
He can bounce.
Alright, hold on. Let me just put this in. My daughter is a pest. Anyway, in order to do, this is a fun project. It really, once you get started, it goes really fast. And you can probably see, I don't know if it will show you, but you can see where I was doing just regular single crochet and where I single crocheted through the top stitches. It's a little bit through the back stitches. It's a little bit tighter stitch, and you don't see quite as much stuffing through it. Not that I see a whole lot of stuffing anyway, but it's it seems to hold the shape a little bit better than down at the bottom does. So I'm going to put this over here. In order to do the Snowy Owl, my buttons, you need to know how to chain, to crochet in the round, to single crochet, to increase, to decrease, excuse me, and to finish off. You also need to know how to attach the various pieces and parts. I'm using Red Heart yarn from my stash in green and dark and light pink, and my 4.5 millimeter Symphony hook, and I think it's a boy hook that is a 4.
Yeah, most of your hooks are going to be boys.
I can't read this.
That's a boy.
I'm
sorry, I lied. This is Susan Bates.
Susan Bates, 4 millimeter.
I don't like the Susan Bates as much as I do the boys.
Yeah, I like the boys better.
I like the weight of the boys in my hand.
But this was the one I could find my thing, my sizes. That's what I'm using. Okay, so that is Snowy, my owl, and I'm really excited about him because he's looking like something. Davina said he looked like Peanut. I actually think he looks like a pear, but anyway, he's looking at me really funny even without his eyes. My pretty in pink lacy keyhole scarf, my knitted scarf.
By knitted scarf? Is that her name?
No, knitted scarf by Stephanie Jappel.
Oh, okay. You said by.
No, I said my.
Oh.
Anyway, this scarf has an interesting story. If you look at it, it doesn't look like I made a lot of progress on the one hand, and yet it looks like I made a lot of progress on the other, because I got to a certain point, and I think it was with yarn overs or something, and I'm still not really good with yarn overs and things. So I miscounted something. I was thinking back, 'cause I did it before and I was fine, but not with yarn overs. So it got all snarled, and I looked at. That's how I looked at it, and she looked at it. And said, "Mom, I don't know what you did." So I'm going to tear it out because I don't really like the way this stash yarn. I think it's Red Heart. Is it holds the shape well, but it was very rough, and it was very stiff, and I couldn't see little Miss Person up there wearing that without it chafing on her. So I said, I'm just going to change my yarn out and start over again. So it's in my Star Wars bag, and I believe this is a Filmmaker's bag.
It still has enough pink in it. You should probably call it sherbet or something.
I might call it sherbet.
Because I'm
going to have to change. But you can see here, it's a little bit thinner now because this is a DK yarn. But you can see that I'm almost where I was before. I don't know if you can see the lace on it, on the top there. It's just I haven't really started the lace. And the reason I haven't gone further than I have is because I miscounted on the yarn overs again. And this time I'm going to wait for Taya to help me see how to tink back with the yarn over so I don't make a mess out of it again. And then I can continue on. But I'm really happy with this because it drapes really well. It's a lot less dense and a lot less rough. So if she wears it, if Davina wears it against her skin, it's not going to chafe her. And I think she'll be a lot more comfortable wearing it. And I think she's going to like the colors because it has her yellow as well as her oranges and pinks in here. And so in order to do this this pattern, well, first of all, I'm using now the Cascade Yarns Cherub Collection Kaleidoscope DK Weight from my stash, and it doesn't have a colorway listed. It's sherbet is as good of a colorway as any, I guess. It's yellow, white, orange, and pink. Very happy colors. Very much Davina's colors. So when I get this fixed, I'll start working. I'll probably take this with me on retreat. And in order to make this yarn, I'm using, make this project, I'm using,
yarn, huh?
Yes, I'm going to make the yarn. No, I don't do that. I'll leave that to everybody else. I'm using my Knit Picks US 7 interchangeable needles on a 40-inch, I think, cable. I lost my tag to it, so I'm not sure if it's 40 or 47 or whatever it is, but it's at least 40. And you need to be able to know how to cast on, how to knit and how to purl, how to knit two together, how to bind off, how to seam pieces together and weave ends, and how to block. And you need to know how to follow the directions because you do some lace work. Yes. You do some lace work on this project as well, which I haven't gotten back to yet, which is a lot of fun. But I like this a lot better. It's a lot easier on my hands, and it does show the pattern really nicely. I'll use the Pepto-Bismol pink yarn for a toy. I think it's better suited to that. So back into my Filmmaker's Star Wars bag, and that is, those are my projects on hooks and needles.
FOs, there are none.
No FOs.
FOs, there are none. Okay. So, geek. Next on the needles, this has not changed, and I'm pretty sure you're tired of me saying it, so I don't really know if I'm going to run through it all again.
Is there anything different?
No.
Anything different for you?
Yes.
Okay.
My Sash Shawl, my Misunderstood Monster, my toys, all that, they're the same. But I'm also going to be, I'm getting ready to hook up the Chevron Lace Cardigan by Milobo for Cal and Anastasia Knits Design Group. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I think it's done in one piece. And if you notice, my Blue Heaven sweater was conspicuously absent right now. I'm not really wanting to do it. I still want to do the sweater. I will do that and finish it, but I think this is just the thing to get me started, this new pattern, to get my interest back up in the sweater. So I am going to be hooking that up as soon as I get something off my hooks and needles.
Okie dokie. So that leads us to Sash Enhancement. I do Sash Enhancement. The one I can't show you because it's for my toy design. My mystery toy. I got the yarn specifically for it because it had to be a certain color. but I'm using I Love This Yarn for that. The other yarn I got, I mean, I guess I should have mentioned it in Next on the Needles, but I don't know when Next on the Needles it would be. It would be the Southerton, and oops, what is going on? Oh, sorry about that. My computer was being wrecked. I got shepherd's wool, which is Stonehenge fiber mill, put out by Stonehenge fiber mill, and I'm using the garnet colorway.
It's really gorgeous. It looks almost black on here. It's not quite. It's actually dark red with blue flecks.
Yeah, there you can see.
Yeah, there it goes.
This lighting is amazing for it.
There we go. It's really pretty.
And this is actually doing a pretty good showing of it. I like the fact that it's a garnet colorway. Garnet's my birthstone.
Come on.
Yeah, right. So I'm going to eventually make the Southerton with this.
It's really very pretty.
Because this is a nice cable yarn. Then I was just going to get the garnet, but I couldn't pass up this color.
I like this. This is my color. I like this color.
Frosty blue.
It's gorgeous. Even though my birth color is also garnet, this is my favorite color.
And again, it's a shepherd's wool put out by Stonehenge Fiber Mill.
And what are you doing that? You're doing a
Oh, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh, that's right. That was your, yeah, I remember.
This is, I picked up enough for a sweater. I was like, I'll figure out what I'm making later.
Yeah, that was, last week I mentioned that we had done a huge stash enhancement, but that it wasn't finished because we had to pick up a few things to make sure. We live not too far from our LYS, but far enough that with gas prices and things like that, it precludes us from going out there very often. So we wanted to stock up for the winter. And, you know, because we might not get out there in the fall.
And with Stonehenge Fiber Mill, I love their yarn, but their website doesn't have the greatest color quality, or maybe my computer doesn't cooperate with their website for the greatest color quality, so I prefer to see their yarn in person when I get it.
And then she can keep the tags or whatever, and, you know, then she can order from the site. We should keep the, you know, we should have a book of our tags and stuff like that, little place where we put them so that if we order online, we have the numbers or whatever.
But yeah, that's my stash enhancement.
Okay, I also did some stash enhancement. I also went to Never Enough Yarn with my daughter. We oh, I forgot to get my other ones. The Ocean Drift yarn that I'm using for a jacket that I'll be making eventually, a sweater jacket. It's kind of the blue-gray, creamy kind of colorway. And you'll see it when I finally make the jacket. I've showed you the yarn before, so I'm not going to bother to go up and get it. I got a couple more of those to make sure I had enough for the sweater. And then I picked up some more of the blue for my Happy Feet, about the Happy Feet for the sweater, the Heaven Sent sweater, that pretty blue. And you know what that looks like, so I'm not going to show you that. Well, I don't have it. It's on order right now. It has to come in. I had my little, I need to have this yarn, regardless of the fact that I don't have a project. And because I got it's a little extensive, I'm going to be using it as a Christmas gift. I told my husband I'll put it in my Christmas gift stash. So, but this is the colorway, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I could not say no. As you, by this time, you're probably getting the idea that I like the blues and the greens and the purples. And
yeah, the colors I like are a little bit more bam in your face. Gee,
well, these are pretty, yeah. And this is who?
Yeah.
Sorry, story references. But I like red as a secondary color. That's my second color. This is my first. I love the blues.
This is my secondary. It's mild for me.
See, I love that color, but I love my blues. And this, I have 4 of these, which is about 800 yards. A little over 800, no, a little less than 800 yards. So when I go to pick up my Happy Feet, I might get one more of these if they have it, just to make sure I have enough. Although I think this might be plenty. And this is actually, it's machine washable. It's 80% merino wool, 20% nylon. It's Crystal Palace Yarns Mini Mochi. And there's 195 yards in here. And I have 4 of them. 5 would be better if I can find a 5th one. If not, that's fine. I'll deal with it. But this goes in my Christmas stash. I'm really happy with this. I can't wait to use it. And then I went to Hobby Lobby, and I got, I rounded out my toy yarn stash. I had a whole bunch of cotton. I wanted to have some worsted weight that was not cotton. And this, I love this yarn, is really a lot softer than the cotton. I got, I wrote down what I got. I got this pink, red, purple, green, royal blue, white, and black. And you saw last week I got a bunch of this yarn as well. I wanted it to be interchangeable so I can make stuffed toys, the monsters and the amigurumi, other things that I wanted to make. So I didn't want to take all of them down off the shelf, so I just showed you this one. And I love
This yarn.
I love this yarn. The other yarn I got, I bought off of Talia. She had this yarn. It's Knit Picks Andean Treasure Aurora Heather colorway. She used it for my mom's sweater. She had a bunch left over.
Because I had poor time judging. I had a freak scare where I thought I was going to run out of the Lanaloft. That's funny.
Yeah.
When I was making my grandfather's sweater. So at the same time, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to run out of the alpacas for my grandmother's. So I just overbought.
So she had 6 or 7 of these. I ordered a couple more of them, so I have like a total of 8 of these. This is what I'm going to be using for my sweater in the Anastasia Ditz project. And I've already worked up a sample swatch. I think it's going to be really nice. I think I'm going to lengthen the sleeves on that, which is why I got more yarn. I have 8 or 9 of these now. So, and it's a really beautiful green. This is my 3rd favorite color. So you can tell we kind of like the same colors, just in reverse order.
Well, I think I'm red, green, blue.
Yeah, and I'm red, blue, red, green. Or something. It depends on my mood for the other 2 colors. But so I got that, and I got a couple of really quick patterns. This is from Disastrous
117.
1701.
1701.
And she is on Ravelry. She's also on WordPress. And these are just adorable. I just love them to pieces. She had the purple one, I think it was, as her avatar, I guess it was.
Yeah, it was.
And we were complaining at her because she didn't have a pattern available. So she got the pattern available, and not only did she make the purple one, she made these adorable little
A pink Lloyd
pink
and
green.
was it a bloop?
Uh,
A blip?
the green one is a blank. I forget what he's called, but they're cute. Purple Lloyd, pink Lloyd, and
His name should be Blue. Yeah,
Pocket Blue. Pocket Blue.
I knew it was Blue.
And they have really cute little stories that go with them. You should check out her site. It's Exastrous1701 at WordPress.com. Maybe Talia will magic link it to that. The other pattern I got is another free pattern. My friend is having a rough time, and we used to have a button that used to remind us of Wilson, the volleyball from Castaway, that we used to keep in our office, and it was a smiley button that we would share back and forth. This pattern is a smiley face pattern. It's a free pattern, and you have the option of making it just a one-sided face or 2 faces. And some of the ideas she gives you are here, and I want to do the one where it's sticking out its tongue and the other one where it's smiling. So if she wants to turn
Not
it around,
the creepy ones with the hair.
no. So if she wants to tell people where to go, so to speak, she can have it sticking out its tongue. And that's a free pattern. It's by Sharon Ohala, O-J-A-L-A, Ohala. I think is how she pronounces it. And I forgot to show you my cast-on bind-off book last week. And several of the podcasters have done reviews on this. It's a very, very good book. From what I've seen, I have not read it. I've just glanced through it, but it looks excellent. It has a huge amount of cast-offs and bind-offs, cast-ons and bind-offs, so it's really good.
Which leads us right into obsessions. Non-knitting related, I've been kind of obsessed with watching the Green Lantern animated series lately.
That and Hero Squad.
Superhero Squad.
Superhero Squad.
And also Young Justice, so I've been in a cartoon mode lately. But knitting related, our toy along is still running. It goes from September 1st to December 15th. So if you're interested in making a toy and winning a prize, possibly winning a prize for that, go to Ravelry. If you're not on Ravelry, you should be. go to Ravelry and join the Nurse with Needles podcast group. To join in this toy along, you need to be a Nurse with Needles Ravelry group member, and you can knit or crochet a toy during any time during this period from September 1st to December 15th. Well, actually, if you started the toy in August and you finished it sometime during September 1st to December 15th time, it counts.
Right. And you can do as many as you want.
Yeah, as many toys as you want. They can be knit or crochet. And there is a chatter thread and a pictures only thread. The chatter thread, you go, oh, I'm starting this toy. Oh, your toy's so pretty. My suggestion is, if you post something with pictures only thread, also post it in the chatter thread so we can tell you how pretty your stuff is.
Right.
At this point, no one's completed anything, but we're still fairly early in.
Well, one person completed, but she completed ahead, and she said this is for inspiration, and it really is inspirational.
Winners will be drawn from the singular. Winner will be drawn from the pictures only thread. Basically, this toy along is an excuse to share all the awesome patterns that you can find.
And to see what they look like.
See what they look like. See what your vision of that toy is like.
And to encourage people to maybe stretch a little bit.
Yeah.
See what you can do. Yes, you're thinking of somebody. I know. She knows who she is.
The prize is 2 toy patterns of your choice, each no more than $10. And there is only one winner. Mm-hmm. But we want to see as many people playing along with us as we can. Mm-hmm. Mom and I cannot win, but we will participate in the chatter thread.
Right.
So that's the one giveaway, I guess, toy along, knit along, crochet along thing we have going on. The other thing is our 50-member party. When we hit 50 members last week, no, I don't think it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, last podcast was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, last podcast.
Yeah.
When we hit 50 members last podcast, I put up a 50-member thread where, not this podcast, the next podcast, a winner will be drawn from that thread. And everyone was to post about where they tended to do their knitting or crocheting. We've had a bunch of people post. There's still time. Next podcast is the cutoff. And I'll just close the thread when it's
the day before the last podcast.
The day before the last podcast. Well, I might even do up until the last minute.
Depending on when you get up.
Yeah. Just.
I guess you're off of work. So.
Yeah, I'm off of work. So I'll give them until right before the podcast. Mm-hmm. I'll cut it off. I'll lock it off so no one can post anything else. So you won't be wondering if you can get in. And you just knit. You just post about where you knit or crochet. So we'll draw 5 winners. Our sponsor is Anastasia Knits. She's awesome. She has donated 5 of her patterns for prizes, so we decided 5 winners would be awesome. And it's a pattern, anyone for paid patterns of your choice.
And her patterns, she's testing a bunch of them right now, so I don't know if some of those might be available as well, but her patterns are really, really nice.
So it's really awesome that she's been able to do this for us, she's been willing to do this for us. And at the time, if you find out that you win, I was going to have you contact her directly, but I think it's probably better that you contact me and then I send her the winner list. That might be better. Or the winner list and who wants what. Yeah, I think that'll be better.
Does it work? I mean, you have to worry about addresses and stuff. I guess you can.
No, not really. It's not.
I guess usernames.
Yeah, usernames. I just send usernames and what pattern they want. Because I was thinking about that might actually be less work for her.
Ask her. Well, we'll ask her what's less work for her because she might want you to.
Well, she says that most people generally just give her that because I talked to her about that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good then.
So, because initially I was just going to have everyone message her, but I think it might be more convenient to her if I don't do that. It might make more sense. Besides, I want to see what everyone chooses.
You're nosy.
My podcast.
Nosy.
Anyway, any obsessions?
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second.
Okay, I think we're back. Stacy Trop, fresh knits.
Fresh
I want-
stitches, Mom.
What?
Fresh stitches.
What did I say?
Fresh knits.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, Stacy. Fresh knits.
Stitches.
It says here fresh knits.
Well, you're wrong.
Fresh stitches.
Just because the paper says it's so doesn't make it so.
Stacy. Yes, my apologies to Stacy. Fresh stitches. I love her patterns, and I keep
Even if
looking
you
at them.
can't remember her
Even
name.
I can't. Well, I know her name. I didn't know her persona name. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
I love her
Uh-huh.
patterns. I was
Uh-huh.
going through there looking for something because I wanted to see if I could use different types of yarn, which I can on the majority of them. And I keep coming back to the turtle and the scrappy dog and the bear and that and the other thing.
Do you realize that this is the obsessions part, not the what's next on
It is my obsession. I don't have them yet. I have to buy them. Ha! Anyway.
Violence. Did you see that? Recorded evidence of violence.
Provocation.
Recorded evidence of violence.
Provocation.
Abuse.
Provocation.
Abuse.
What is it he says? Perceived threat. Anyway, Stacy Trop is very much an obsession. I have so far not bought anything else, and Craftsy. Try not to look at their sales. Try not to buy.
They just had a sale.
Huh?
They just had a sale. It wouldn't interest you, but it was bad for me.
Did you buy something?
It was nice. It was half price.
Well, that's what I'm looking at. But this is the thing that I will probably break down on. It's her Roosevelt Monster Workshop on Craftsy that I really want to get. But we'll see. But I'm trying not to look at their sales.
They had a modified how to modify your knits class.
For half price? That was an expensive class.
Well, it was a new class.
Yeah?
It was a new class.
Oh, I picked up one of the shawl. Well, I'll get to that in a second. I did a little writing. Well, I guess obsessions.
Yeah, I guess we're going the
writing. Okay, I'm going to continue since I started. I did a little bit of writing. Actually, mostly to my synopsis. Maybe about 500 to 800 words, which doesn't sound like a lot, but considering what I had been doing, it is a lot. I've also been doing quite a bit of brainstorming with Talia, and I almost feel like writing again, so that's good. And I edited a chapter for a writing buddy of mine over at Writers Village University. So I'm hoping to get back into the swing of writing once I get back from my retreat.
For me, I have the shared story still. I had written it out on the paper that we printed it on, so now I'm typing everything in. So I'm reading it over twice, which takes time. But I think it'll be better for it. Yeah, that's my writing. That leads us to thank yous. And, ooh, if we hurry, we might be under an hour.
Yay.
Not much, but ooh, I see. So, once again, thanks to Anastasia Knits for her generous donation for the 50-member party. You are awesome.
Yay.
Also, I want to thank and welcome our new Ravelry group members, the ones who just joined Nurse with Needles. I think there's 5 of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Farmwife99, who is Diane. This is cute. Will you knit with me?
Oh.
And she doesn't have her name here. Then there's State55, who's Patty. With Buttons, who's Shelly. And Mrs. Z1116, who is Jenny. So, welcome aboard. I hope you all will take part in the 50-member club and 50-member party and in the toy along.
We'd love to have you there.
So, that is it for this week. Thank you for coming. Thank you for knitting and crocheting with us. And we will see you sometime next week.
Bye.
God bless. Bye.
Bye-bye.